I also have a fuel pressure regulator on the way as well, because you can hear it surge. It sounds a little low beat. Today we're performing a diesel purge on my 2001 LB7 Duramax. So the old LB7 is having some injector sticking issues. Number 4 sticks intermittently, and usually I can clear it up with some Marvel Mystery Oil or some automatic transmission fluid in the tank. And that actually worked. This time again, I threw a little bit of this in the tank and let it sit for a couple of days, drove it out the road 60 miles, and it was cleared up the injectors. And when the injector sticks, it kicks out a little bit of black smoke, and you get some injector knocking. And the Marvel Mystery Oil did a great job of clearing that up. So we're gonna go the extra mile and use this liquid moly diesel purge. And to do that, we're going to disconnect the send and return line up by the fuel filter housing and run it directly into an empty container, which is why I have this mystery container out. It has oil, a bunch of different detergents, and carbon breakup stuff. So we'll run that and see what it does. Those of you who are not familiar with Marvel Mystery Oil, I actually read people doing diesel purges with this stuff as well. Originally created in the early 1920s, it was used as an engine flush to clean out submarines when they'd come back from a long haul. They'd run this mystery oil through the engine, clean out all the sludge, and then put in fresh oil for the next trip. And then since 1923, it's been out on the shelves. And I don't know if the formula has changed any, but I was able to find the ingredients for this stuff. It's like upwards to 60% mineral oil, give or take a few percent, and upwards to 30% white mineral solvent, give or take a few percent. And then in that mix somewhere is a anti-wear agent, a carbon softener, and some kind of anti-heat polymer. Works great. Works really good. Calms down the engine, clears up some of that smoke. But for now, we're just going to use that empty container. So to do this, we need a fuel disconnect. And I picked these hoses up on Amazon. This is a 1/2-inch hose made by Mishimoto, and it comes with a couple of hose clamps in there. This cost about $13. Let's see if I can focus on that so you can see the part numbers. And then you'll need a 3/8 hose as well. I think this was $9.99 on Amazon. And we're gonna try out this liquid moly diesel purge. And I picked up 2 bottles on Prime for $24. I've read a lot of great things about this. It's pretty big in the BMW diesel car world, and it seems like there's quite a few Duramax owners who have purged this. The other way you can do this is you can throw this in your filter and run it that way. I'm going to do the full purge system just because the difference between the two is when you just run it in your filter, the return line will send it right back to your tank, whereas if you do the purge system, you're also using your send line, and it will just throw it back in the jug, and it will actually use the entire contents of the container. Alright, let's go ahead and bust these lines open. So first thing we need to do is pop off this clip here. And one below it. There you go, you can see that. This is your send and return line. Let's see if I can do this one-handed here. these disconnects here. The other ones were a little too bulky to do what I needed to do, especially to get into that 1/2 inch down there. So I'll try these out. They seem to work pretty easy. Okay. That was the trick. This stuff smells just like Marble Mystery Oil. It smells like mineral spirits. I imagine it's probably made out of a lot of the same stuff, solvents, mineral spirits. And very important, if you have a lift pump, make sure to unplug that. Alright, we are pretty much at the end here. We're going to shut her off. Well, it's idling a lot smoother. There's still just a little bit of hazy smoke, but seems like the injectors are a bit happier. Doesn't mean that I don't need to change them, but seems to be running a hell of a lot smoother than it was a few days ago. So I'm going to go ahead and put it all back together and go drive it around and report back to you, see how it does. But otherwise, this is how you do a purge. It's not the most difficult thing. You just got to have the right tools for it. Alright, we got her up to temp. Drove her out the road a ways. And it is idling very smooth. So I may have had some gunk in my fuel pressure regulator. And that liquid moly may have cleaned it out. Probably still gonna replace that FPR though whenever it arrives. Let's go check the exhaust. Sounds good. More surge or lope. Sounds all right. So I just came back from cruising around out the road, testing it out, and just wanted to show you these injector rates. Probably should have showed you them from the beginning, but so injector 4 has always been my problem child. It seems to be doing just fine now. We're gonna go ahead and put this in gear. Put those under load. They all seem to be very happy right now. And the desired and actual fuel pressure is looking pretty good. A few days ago, before I put that Marvel Mystery in, it was jumping around. It had jumped around by about 400 psi. Now it's fairly rock solid, so I think all in all, between the Marvel Mystery oil and the tank and purging with that liquid diesel purge, liquid moly diesel purge, I think it made the truck a little happier. Next time I like to do a longer purge, but I think this did what I wanted it to, so I'm going to call that a win. Well, that will conclude this video. Smash that like button if you found this useful, so we can get that content out to other people that might find it useful. Subscribe if you want to see more videos like this, and feel free to check out my channel to see other content that I have out there for you. Alright, we'll see you on the next one.